everybody. I am playing Race the Sun, which is a game that's been out since 2014. It's been out for a little while, but they just added PSVR support today, so I figured I'd check it out. And this is one that they gave away for free with PlayStation Plus a while ago, so if you managed to snag it back then, good on you, because it's still free with the VR update, so see if you got it and reinstall it. Otherwise, it's $9.99. And I'm going to say, I don't know if I can recommend it as a flat-out purchase for $9.99 if you're looking for the VR content. I'll show you why here in a minute, but so far it hasn't really wowed me yet. I was hoping for a little bit more. And the VR implementation feels a little bit lazy. The main reason I say that is, first of all, even though you can use tilt your head to track in a lot of similar kind of like where you're flying around in VR type games, you can't in this. They didn't add any sort of head tracking implementation, so you're stuck playing with a DualShock, just using your left analog stick, which is fine, I guess. But it kind of really, it could have been a lot more immersive if it was something like, even like Eagle Flight or oh, I can jump now. That's new. Well, that's kind of cool. Or even there's an endless runner in HeroCade, which just came out today, which I can't recommend HeroCade overall, but I will say the endless runner in that one is probably preferable to this for me.
Are you going to get HeroCade?
I've already got HeroCade. I'm going to do a review later on. I was just saying, this reminds me of one called Polyrunner in that, and I actually like the design of Polyrunner a little better, and it has head tracking, so it really feels like it was built for VR. Whereas this does not feel like that. It feels like an add-on. The other thing is the first-person mode, which you can see here. This is a new addition for VR, and it does make it a little more hectic because everything seems to be coming at you really fast. But I find it kind of difficult to play this way because there's no visual indicator of where your ship is. So it's kind of hard to tell if you're going to hit what you're expecting to. Oh, shit. Like, I don't really know what my hitbox is right here. So if I go back to this mode, I've got a better idea. So far I've been playing in the third-person view. Even though this is kind of cool, just like any kind of an indicator of where my ship is would be really helpful. Without that, it makes it kind of hard to play in this mode, and I wouldn't really recommend it. So, as you can see, it's pretty much an endless runner. And there we go. That's my first death. As you progress through these challenges, you can see on the right-hand side you go up levels, which gives you, I guess, some more upgrades that you can run into as you're going along. So that's kind of cool. It seems like it gets more in-depth as you go on, and you can also you can configure your ship. So it looks like there's some customization options. It's a nice feature that is not in the other Endless Runner game that I mentioned in HeroCade. But, it's still not enough to make me prefer this one. Because really, I want to be able to tilt and turn that way. If they added that, I would recommend this one for sure. If they put that and just some kind of, in first-person mode, give me the nose of my ship or like the outline of my wings or just something to let me know where I am. Because it's almost... I mean, if you're really playing it hardcore and you can't see what your hitbox is, that's gonna be an issue. I mean, if you're just playing casually, it's probably not the end of the world, but... Now, I do like this jump thing. That is kind of fun. The other thing about this first-person mode is it doesn't really make me feel more immersed because I don't really feel like I am anything here. I'm just kind of like a camera rushing forward. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a camera rather than a plane or a bird or anything. Doesn't really do a whole lot for me. It's kind of bland looking too, honestly. I mean, I kind of expected a little bit more color. I tried one of the modes briefly that had a little bit more color, and I'll show that in a minute. Okay, shit. Well, I'm talking too much and I'm not doing too well here. But I think you can kind of get the idea. I don't know how complex it gets as you go on. I haven't gotten too deep into it. So, take this review with a grain of salt. This is somebody who's played it for half an hour. It's my first impressions. But I can't see myself spending a whole lot of time with it just because I don't feel like the VR adds a whole lot, and it feels like a pretty basic endless runner otherwise. And like I said, I'll probably spend more time with the one in HeroCade. Even though HeroCade itself is not really something I would recommend. If you're going to get it for Dread Halls, you know, might as well spend some time with the Endless Runner in that one, because I did enjoy that quite a bit. Although I will say I'm warming up to this a little bit. Uh-oh.
It's like Star
Stay out of the
Fox, but
shadows.
worse.
Yeah, it's like Star Fox with nothing exciting to do. Yeah. I could go for a good Star Fox game. Nintendo, you listening? Alright, back to first person mode. Ooh. One interesting thing, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to display this very well without killing myself. Maybe I'll wait till I get out into the open here. But if you look around, you can see they didn't render it in a full 360 kind of 3D environment. It's all just kind of grayed out when you get past this this little field of view here. Everything is just, there's nothing behind you. There's nothing even really if you look up or straight to the left. So they didn't really add anything for VR. They just kind of threw it into a 3D perspective. All right, we'll try one last time on this mode, and then I'll go through the new mode that they introduced, which I think is called Sunrise Mode. And that's sort of a Zen Chill-Out Mode. There's no... I think there's no real challenge in that one, but it looked nice. I remember it was a little more colorful than this one. So I'll take you through that in a sec here.
Did I miss your balls reveal?
My balls reveal. No, you didn't miss it. I haven't done it yet. Uh-oh. I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to get all these. Yeah, everything just looks really washed out and kind of bland. I don't know. I can't really get into the aesthetic of this one as much as I'd like to. I'm hoping as it goes on and you get into further levels, it brightens up a little bit or gets more interesting. But, shit, I think I'll never make it to those levels, so we'll see. Alright, so I'm going to try out that other new mode. And then probably wrap it up here. Alright, so it looks like there are a few other modes that are locked, but those are probably from the original base game as well. This is a new one. Sunrise, Zone Out, Special Mode. And so at least this one is nice. I mean, you're floating across the ocean. You got some icebergs. It's colorful at least, even though it's pretty monochromatic anyways. But I feel like once the initial kind of niceness of the look here wears off, the design of it doesn't really do a whole lot for me. And I guess that probably, the same would be said of the regular 2D version, which I didn't play before, even though I did grab it and install it when it was on PS Plus for free. The pop-in is pretty severe here. You'd think the draw distance could be a little bit better since it's so, simplistic, but stuff just kind of comes out of nowhere. You don't have much of a horizon in front of you. It's kind of empty looking too. Yeah, I can't say this is much more fun. Just removing the difficulty and making it slightly more blue. Yeah, overall, I'm going to say if you've already got this game, in your library for free, definitely install the update, check it out. Maybe you'll have a good time with it. For $10 as a standalone to check out as kind of like a new title for VR, I can't really recommend it in that capacity. So, take that as you will. But it'll probably give you a good, half hour of enjoyment or more if you get sucked in, if you've already got it purchased. So with that, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to be doing a HeroCade review later on, so I'll cover that game Polyrunner that I was talking about in this one as well, which I think is probably, for my money, a little bit more enjoyable as an endless runner. But all right, thanks for watching. Have a good night.